We hear so much about the magic of building a new AI model, right? The breakthrough, the innovation. But what about the day after the launch party? What happens when the project team packs up and that shiny new AI actually has to, well, work? That's what we're going to get into today. It's this often overlooked, but I'm telling you, absolutely critical piece of the puzzle, the AI handover.
So let's set the scene. Imagine your company just rolled out a total game changer, a brand new AI feature. The press is buzzing, the execs are celebrating, but what happens at 8 a.m. the next morning when real people start using your brilliant new model out in the wild? Well, that day can go one of two ways.
On one hand, you've got the dream. The system is just humming along, users are loving it, and if anything does go wrong, everyone knows exactly who's in charge. Or you get the nightmare. System alerts are blaring, teams are running around confused, and literally no one knows who to call to fix it. It's just total chaos.
And here's the crazy part. The thing that separates that dream from the nightmare, it usually has nothing to do with how good the AI model is. Nope, it has everything to do with the plan, or, the lack of a plan, for turning that AI from a cool project into a real, live product. And that's really the heart of it. That chaos we talked about, it's a classic symptom of a failed handover. But that smooth, successful launch, that comes from having a really solid AI transition plan. This plan is the hero of our story today. It's what makes sure your amazing AI can actually survive out there. Let me give you an analogy. Think of your data science team as a star chef. They've just invented this incredible, complex new recipe. But for that recipe to become the restaurant's signature dish, the one that's served perfectly every single night, the chef can't just yell the ingredients at the kitchen staff and walk away. They need to create a detailed playbook. That playbook, that's our AI transition plan.
So how do you write this playbook? Well, it all rests on 4 key pillars. First, you have to plan the transition. Then, you transfer the knowledge. After that, you define the rules. This one's huge. And finally, you deliver the documentation. Let's dig into each of these.
Okay, pillar number 1, planning. This is the blueprint for everything. Before anything gets handed off, you need to map it all out. You need a timeline for every activity. You need to officially name the receiving team, the folks who will live and breathe this model day in and day out. Then you define the exact moment ownership switches over. And this is so important, you have to align on service-level agreements, or SLAs. Look, these aren't just tech terms, they are promises. They define what good looks like and set clear expectations for how the system will perform. All right, with a solid plan in place, we can move on to the next step. It's time to actually train the new crew. Back to our restaurant, this is where the star chef pulls the kitchen staff aside and really teaches them the secret recipe, step by step. And this isn't just a quick 15-minute chat. It's a deep, hands-on training. The operations team needs to understand the model's personality, how it behaves, where its data comes from, what all those squiggly lines on the monitoring dashboards mean. They need playbooks for when things go wrong, and maybe most importantly, they need to know exactly who to call at 3 a.m. when a real emergency hits. Now we get to something that causes so much pain in so many companies. Who actually does what? In our kitchen, you've got to be absolutely clear about who the head chef is now, who's the sous chef, and who's the manager calling the shots. Getting this right prevents so much confusion down the line. And this table is a perfect way to visualize it. See how clear this is? The operations team owns the day-to-day stuff. They're monitoring, they're handling the first wave of any incidents, they're running the retraining jobs. The data science team, they're still involved, but they're the level 3 support for the really tough problems and for thinking about the model's future. And the business owner, they have the final say on any big changes. See, everyone knows their lane, no guesswork. And that brings us to our final pillar, creating the legacy. This is all about building that ultimate recipe book, that single source of truth that makes sure this AI solution can be supported for years, long after the original creators have moved on to new projects. And yeah, this recipe book is a whole library. You've got your runbooks, your architecture diagrams, your troubleshooting guides. But let's talk about why these matter. That deployment and rollback guide, that's your safety net. It's what keeps a small bug from turning into a public disaster. Or how about the model fact sheet? This thing is a game changer. It explains what the model does, its blind spots, and its quirks, all in plain English. That's absolutely vital for building trust and transparency around your AI. But listen, just dropping a 200-page manual on someone's desk and saying good luck is a surefire way to fail. A book is a start, but it's not enough. You have to bring that book to life. You need to give them a masterclass.
We're talking video walkthroughs so they can see it in action, hands-on sessions where they can break things in a safe environment, quick reference guides they can tape to their monitor for when they're in a panic. The whole point isn't that they've read the docs, it's that they've internalized them. They feel confident enough to act on their own.
So, when you put it all together, the planning, the training, the clear roles, and the living documentation, it's all driving toward one simple, powerful goal: to have an AI solution that just works, smoothly, securely, and for a long, long time.
Which kind of leaves us with one final question to chew on. What's actually more important in the long run? Building that revolutionary new AI model, or building the plan and the team that can keep it running for years to come? It's a pretty important thing to think about.